Hey everybody, Rory from ANS Gear, and I've got some self-defense, home defense, less than lethal options in front of me right here. This has become quite a category over the last 2 years or so. So that home defense, self-defense, less than lethal, out when you're kind of jogging, camping, hiking, whatever you kind of do, self-protection has really become popular. And Umarex has another gun right here, more on the compact side, which is great for those options right here. So this is the HDP50 Compact. So very similar to the other pistol, just a smaller version of it. It holds 4 rounds in it. So whether it be an inert powder ball, a pepper ball, or a rubber less than lethal ball, it's only going to hold 4. Now you can reload it on the same cartridge and shoot more out of it, but 4 is the initial amount of shots that you are going to get inside of it. It holds a 8 gram CO2. So not a 12 gram, but the 8 gram. And here it is. We're going to take a look at that. In the box, you're going to get the gun here. You're going to get this, which has your pepper ball and your rubber ball. Now, if you are in any of the states where this is not an option, then I'm sure there's California compliant versions of this where the pepper balls are removed and they're replaced with the inert or the rubber round ball. Like California and New York, there's a couple states that don't allow that, and that would be changed out if you were to pick that up. So you're going to get this. You can see in big lettering right here, it says, do not use paintballs. This is not designed for paintballs. It shoots harder than the paintballs are meant to be shot. This shoots, according to the box, at 360 FPS, and you get paint and stuff broken inside there, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. So don't shoot paintballs through this. I know a lot of people pick them up and then try to shoot paint. Don't do it. Not an option. Do not use paintballs. And your little parts kit right here, you're going to get a barrel swab, plug style, the Allen key to remove the tank access port off the bottom, and then you've got some 8 gram CO2s in there as well. And then you got a little instruction manual on the side. So that's what we got going on here. So we're going to kind of go through the motions of loading this thing up. I've got some 50 cal rubber round right there, and then I've got an 8 gram CO2 cartridge. And just to show you how this works. So first thing I'm going to do is take this off. This might be a little difficult to unscrew by hand. So that's what this Allen key is for right here. If you can't get it off by hand, you'd want to use that. You put it in the bottom and you rotate that off. I've already taken it off once, so I can do it by hand. And that comes off like that. As you can see, this has a spring on it. Boing, 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 boing. When this gets pushed down, it punctures the CO2 cartridge. So when we put the CO2 cartridge into the gun here, we want to make sure that the nozzle end of the CO2 cartridge is facing down. It does not go up into the gun, it goes down. Because once we take this and screw it in to gas the gun up or to puncture the CO2 cartridge, we're going to hit the bottom of it. That's going to puncture the cartridge and gas the gun up. So before I do that, I have not yet punctured that. I'm going to load up here. So to get to the magazine area, this little kind of handle thing at the front, we're going to grab it and we're going to pull it down. Once we're inside here, we've got our, basically what would be considered the magazine of the gun. Our follower is right here and it's on a spring. So it's going to always push the round, whatever round you're using, into the barrel and let it be shot out. So what we do is we want to compress that spring down back and then kind of, you push it down and then rotate it over and it locks in place right there. It's hard to see because this is in the way, but if I push that forward, move it to the side, it will lock in place and the feed port is held open. Now I can take 4, remember it's just 4, that's all that's going to work in there. So here I have 4, these are the rubber ones, and I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And once that 4th one is in there, there's no room. You couldn't even try to fit a 5th one inside there. Once that is put in, we're going to release our follower, and that'll start pushing the balls in. Now, I don't know, I have not tried, if we just close this, if it will release the follower automatically. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. It does. So, oh, there's a little tab right here on the top of the little handle that will knock that piece over and release the follower down. So you don't technically need to do it by hand, although you can. You can leave it in the locked position, close that, and then as you can see, it pushed it over and came out. Or you could do it by hand. You can just go boop, and then it does the same thing. So that's in there. We're ready to go. We have our CO2 cartridge in. The next thing we would do is to puncture our CO2 cartridge like that. So you can tell that our CO2 cartridge has been punctured and gas is engaged because this indicator pin on the back has popped out. And you can see the little red section of it telling us the gun is gassed up and it is ready to shoot. Now I'm going to shoot one or two past you right here. It's pretty loud because it's really got some velocity going on to it right there. So we got two more. And these things are humming around in here. So you can get more shots off than just the 4. As you can see, I can do, I'm gonna cover my, there we go, cover the end of it here. So sorry, I mean, those last, I don't know, 8 shots or so, we were definitely losing velocity on it. But you can see you're going to get more shots than just those 4 at velocity without having to change the cartridge out. When we're all done and we want to remove the cartridge, as you can see, I don't have any shots really left. I mean, there's still pressure inside the gun because this is poked out. What I can do is push on that release valve, and that's going to degas the gun. And then I could open this up and drop that out. When you're putting this on in the first place, after you've put your cartridge in, you don't need to crank it down. You just turn it in till it stops and then open it up or puncture it by hitting it. The turning does not puncture it, so you don't need to crank on it and make it so you can't get it off of there. Just a little information for you right there. And that's it right there. It's a pretty cool little compact home defense, self-defense item right here. So the HDP50 Compact, it's available through the website. Make sure it conforms with all your local state and law, state and county laws and all that stuff. Make sure you can have something like this. And if this is something that interests you, pick it up on the website, ansgear.com.